All right. Barakatayawa, Barakatayawa Shai, Barakatayawa, Barakatayawa Shai, Barakatayawa, Barakatayawa Shai. Call Halayim Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Arachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who taught us the truth. Honors and salutations to the elect, and to the men that died doing the work Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, the shut of us first. To the men, women, and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son, which the Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer. Please come and deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. My name is Micah Allah Ben Gab Ben Yasharala, Church of Philadelphia, Camp here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Excuse me, once again, coming at you with another one. All right, and as the title says, this blood moon, the blood moon that just passed will be our last warning before chaos. All right, we got scriptures, but I want to play these videos first. Concerning the blood moon that we just had, it said it was a very rare blood moon. All right, that's one video I wanted to see. And it was really breaking down like little things, but hold on. Check this one out. They say they come like every 6 years, so that's why I'm all right, here we go. I think this one explains it a little bit.
There's that live look right now with the Earth shadow on the moon. You can see it looking red. We call it like a blood moon because it gives it that reddish hue. Lunar eclipses always happen whenever you have the Earth right in between the sun and the moon's alignment. That's where you get that shadow on the moon. So really, really cool sight. If you got the chance to see it this morning, or if you have the chance to take a really good picture, I highly recommend it. My biggest advice, if you have like iPhone 16, 17 Pro, zoom in, try to focus, and then use the night mode. Hold it still for about 3 seconds. You're going to get a pretty good shot. Be sure to send it our way. We love seeing these. Fun fact, you're actually not going to be able to get another view of this until New Year's Eve 2028. There's that live look right now with the shot.
And these people, hey, Shalom, Yallah, Masa, Yabashim, Shabashim, Chakadas, Brakatah. You see how the people did, she's oblivious to what that means. So like that's why I believe it was in Jeremiah, he said, learn not the way of the heathens, or choose none of their ways. But it's another one that says, be not dismayed, you know. Matter of fact, let me get that. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. I'll get that first. Hold on. There we go. Shalaka, just bear with me real fast. Okay, here we go. Okay, I was right. It was Jeremiah 10 and 2. So hold on. Let's get that scripture real fast. Since I mentioned it. Because that's where everybody want to go out and sit. I remember the last time, about 6 years ago, that it was a blood moon. When I was living down in the Kensington section of Philadelphia. And I remember standing in the parking lot and I was just pointing it out to people that walked through. And I know this one dude says, "Oh my God, we all about to die." I said, "Damn." But he's not too wrong. But not everybody, but all America, except for the elect that's delivered out of here, and the 1/3 that's delivered out of here. The rest is going to perish. This is Jeremiah 10 and 2. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them." And that's what that lady, she sound like a heathen anyway. I said, "Oh my God, we call us the blood moon." And you don't know that's a sign of the destruction and chaos to come to Babylon, man. And that's that's what we want. And she said in the next one, you ain't going to be able to sit to New Year's Eve, I believe she said, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day 2028. It's 2026 right now, right? I don't believe Babylon got that much longer. I don't think we're going to be here till no 2028. And if we are, so be it. But the way prophecies is rolling, I don't see it. Let's go ahead to Joel chapter 2. And we're going to start at verse 30. All right, concerning the signs of the times right now. All right. It's Joel chapter 2, verse 30. And as it says, the day of the Lord. All right, it says, and I will shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth. And in the earth. And in the earth, what are you seeing? The wars, rumors of wars, what's the word I'm looking for? The infrastructure of Babylon falling. The race wars beginning, Like I just watched a video where this Moabite woman was calling Jake the nigga. Yo, dude, they're the pride of him, man. The pride of Moab, man, is crazy. And then she said, what she said? She said, I'm gonna take your picture and give it to my husband because he's white. That's your master. I said, yo, that's crazy. These people is crazy, man. Anyway, Joel 2:30, not to get off topic. It says, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. What you saying? These nukes being shot off, the moon turned to blood. A lot of blood is being shed. I told you, I said this a while ago, man. When this year kicked in, before this year kicked in, I said, it's going to be a lot of death this year, man. A whole lot of death, man. And if we go into, I hope they make that thing mandatory this year, and that's going to usher in World War III, and that's going to usher in Yahweh's return so we get the hell up out of here, man. Lord's willing be a part of that number. But this blood moon that just happened, Lord's willing, hey, maybe it could be our final sign. Because we got the Passover coming up April 1st. I think we just be in the Purim season. But April 1st is the Passover, man. Anyway, it says the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Yahweh come. So you're gonna have nukes shot off, blocking the sun wherever you at. And if you look over there now, how many missiles they're shooting and how is all the smoke and everything is blocking out the sun, blocking out the moon, so you can't see it. That's gonna come over here. And I remember a few years back, it was a Ukrainian woman that moved to Babylon from over there when the war first kicked off. She was, I think she's 18 or 19. She a young girl. She told me how she got over here, the route and everything. And she said she couldn't catch a plane from Ukraine, so she had to catch a bus, I think to Germany or something like that. It was crazy, the route she took to get to Babylon. But I remember looking at the sky the one day, it was all these chemtrails in there. And she looked up and she said, oh my God. She said, this reminds me of Ukraine with the missiles in the sky. I said, wow. So it's coming to Babylon, man. It says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on my name, shall I could call on the name of Yahweh, no other name, man. Call on the name of Yahweh shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as Yahweh had said, and in the remnant whom Yahweh shall call. All right, like I said, not everybody's going to make it, but you're going to have the elect and the 1/3 get delivered up out of this calamity that's to come, man. You know, let's read that in the NLT. All right, it's Joel 2:30. In the NLT it says, "And I will cause wonders in the heavens and on the earth." As a matter of fact, they just had an earthquake over there in Iran. You know, so the Lord, he jacking that place up, man. And ultimately, he's going to jack this place up the most. But everything has to start over there, you know, because this is the latter end of the earth, you know. But the latter end and also the most wickedest. You know, it says, "And I will cause wonders in heaven, in the heavens and on earth, blood and fire, and columns of smoke. The sun will be dark, and the moon will turn blood red," which you just saw. You know, blood red before that great and terrible day of the Lord arrives. Yahweh arrives. But everyone who calls on the name of Yahweh will be saved. For some on Mount Zion and Jerusalem will escape. See that? Some. It says, just as Yahweh has said, these will be among the survivors whom Yahweh has called, man. You know, so like that man said, "Oh, we all about to die." Or maybe, hey, maybe you are, you know. Like I'm in hopes that the Lord will deliver me out of this thing. You know. So this is Acts chapter 2:19. All right. Concerning this moon that we just had. All right, it says, "And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath." So like I said, we're in the book of Acts all over again as well, man. You know, through the spirit and the men that was walking the earth back then and walking the earth now. You know, and the majority of the prophets are right here in Babylon, man. Know that. The majority of the prophets are right here in Babylon. Because they have to prophesy the downfall of this place. All right, Acts 2:20 and the KJV. All right, Salakia 19. It says, "And I will shew wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before that great and notable day of Yahweh Bashim shall come." All right, so hey man, we want this calamity to come, man. But as you can see, they're calling for another one. I said January 1st, 2028. Like I said, I don't believe we're gonna be here that long, man. The way the prophecies are rolling and all the everything that you see, basically, man. Everything that you're seeing, the wars going on. There's never been a time like this, you know. It always been like little proxy wars and things like that, but on the magnitude that it is now, and they're telling the American troops that this war is Armageddon and the Hebrew Armawagan, you know, that's what the Lord told us, man. These prophecies are being fulfilled, and these people don't even dig it. You know, you got the American troops dancing around, acting stupid. It was the nigga woman, though, dancing around doing TikToks of them dancing. It ain't the time to dance, man. This is a very serious time, man. That's upon us. All right. This is Matthew chapter 24 and 29. It says the glorious return. We praying that this is it, man. This blood moon. Because like I said, you got that blood moon is a warning. And as you got the Passover right around the corner, April 1st, you know, it would only be right for Yahweh Shah to come back after the Passover. That'd be beautiful, man. You know, but hey, we don't know. This is Matthew chapter 24 and 29. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And it's talking about the stars, you're talking about them nukes shooting. Because if you look at the videos now, and that's what the prophet saw and everything, Well, if you look at the videos now of the missiles being shot through the air, they look like stars falling down. Like I said, all that smoke and everything is blocking the sun and blocking the moon. So I said the moon shall not give a light. And this is Yahweh Shah speaking. So he's explaining that everything is going to happen before he comes back. You know, he's warned us. He's telling us. All right. Verse 30 says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. You see that? And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven unto the other. That's going to be beautiful, man. Man, if this moon was it, I pray that it is. But like I said, it's yet to be seen. But as the prophecies are unfolding and everything, it's looking good. But still, no man knows the time of the hour. We're just seeing the signs of the times, you know. I can't pinpoint and say, oh, your Lord is coming back at this day. Then I'll be found to be a liar, because I would be lying if I tell you something like that. When Yahweh Shah don't even know when he's coming back. But he told us about the signs that was to come, you know. So let's read that real fast in the NLT. Yahweh Shah's words about his return. All right. And he never told you a date, because if the average Negro knew the date and time, they would be wicked all the way up until that time, man. And try to act like they was holy at the end. You know, that's the purpose of the Lord not even knowing, because he would have told you. Yahweh know how faithful his son is. So if Yahweh Shah knew when he was coming back exactly, he would have told his men, because he told him everything else that he knew. He gave him all the truth that he has. All right, so this is Matthew 24 and 29. In the NLT, it says, immediately after the anguish, Jacob trouble, all that stuff, man. It says, immediately after the anguish those days, the sun will be darkened. The moon will not shalak it. The moon will give no light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken, because they're going to be scared to death, man. You know? Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat. You know, they're going to be shaken, man. Scared to death, because they at that point in time when them nukes shoot off, they know it's over, man. Esau is going to know in his heart, because the son, and then watch this, just what it says. Verse 30, this is Yahweh Shah's word. It says, and then at last, the sign that the Son of Man is coming will appear in the heavens, and there will be deep mourning, you know, and there will be deep mourning among all the peoples of the earth. And they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven, his chariots, you know, his chariots that he's come with. The clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send out his angels with the mighty blast of a trumpet, and they will gather his chosen ones from all over the world, from the farthest ends of the earth and heaven, man. So, hey, man, that's what Yahweh Shah said. All right. And it's true, because Yahweh Shah, he cannot lie, man. All right. He is not a liar, just like the Father can't lie. All right. So let's go here real fast. The Revelation chapter 6. And I said we're praying that this is the last one. I'm gonna pray that last video again when I close out with the heathen, the lady. She was dismayed, man. And all happy. Oh yeah, look at this. It's going on. And man, that's a warning right there. You see, these people have no clue, man. And they thinking that, oh, we're gonna take pictures of it, show our grandkids, and oh, remember this blood moon, and nah, it's not going down like that. It's not going down how you think, Esau. Well, you low level Edomites, man. The higher up Edomites that's running stuff, they know exactly what's going on, and they're trembling right now. They're not gonna let you know, but they're trembling. They're scared to death. You thought the Epstein files was something, and they're trembling at that. Well, this right here, they're definitely trembling, because this is a direct sign from the Heavenly Father. You know, he always keeps his promise. Before something happens, he shows you signs. You just got to see what the Spirit is saying. All right. This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 12. It says, and I beheld. It says, and I beheld, and when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. Damn, and your sackcloth represents what? Your garment, man. You know, that's what our garments represent, sackcloth, because we out there in the highways and hedges, we're mourning. You know, we're mourning because the injustice that's being done to us and our people. You know, we're crying out to the Heavenly Father. All right, just like even doing these videos, man, we're crying out to the Heavenly Father. Your spirit is crying out even in your sleep. You know? Let's read this again. Revelation 6 and 12, it says, and I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth. That's talking about the missiles, man. All right. They fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So they compared the nukes like shaking a fig tree. Them fig trees, a fig looks like that. Matter of fact, let's find this real fast. Show me images of a fig tree. All right, here we go. These are figs. All right, matter of fact, look. So just imagine shaking this. I'm gonna show you what the figs look like first. So you got the figs right here, all lined up together. Just imagine shaking that and they falling, hitting the earth. You know. Let's get the whole. Matter of fact, look at this one. Here we go. That's a bigger one. This fig tree is crazy. God damn. Look at that. Look at that. That's a fig tree right there. As a man says, when it's shaking and dropping the sun tiny figs, that's how the missiles going. Matter of fact, let's see if we can find a video of show me a video of missiles being shot off. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask this one. Show me a video of missiles coming from the sky hitting the ground. All right, bet. Here we go. I want to get the image. But so here we go. Check this. This is a good one right here. Check this out. The line up with that scripture says the stars of heaven. Now look at this. That's what the prophet saw. Those look like stars, but they're missiles, right? They look like stars falling to the earth. All right, so let's go back to Revelation. That's what the prophet John, the Revelator, saw. All right, Revelation chapter 6, where we at? 13. All right. It says, and the stars of heaven fell, which we just read, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, which I just showed you a picture. That's what the John the Revelator saw. He compared them to stars, because that's what they look like. But they were actual missiles being shot to the earth. Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll, and it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So that's how many missiles going to be coming, man. You know, I'm telling you, and we're hoping, because it's looking good right now. We're hoping and praying that's. Matter of fact, should I get that in NLT? Yeah, let's get that in NLT. This is 6. We're gonna start verse 12. We're praying, man, that the Lord put the Spirit on His people to get it cracking even more. You know, we want to go home, man. This place sucks. I'm sick of this place, man. But you know, we're supposed to feel like this. All right, Revelation 6 and 12. It says, And the NLT says, I watched as the land broke the sixth seal, and there was a great earthquake. The sun became as dark as sackcloth. Hold on. It says the sun became as dark as sackcloth, and the moon became as red as blood. Then the stars of the sky fell to the earth like green figs falling from a tree, shaken by a strong wind. The sky was rolled up like a scroll, and all of the mountains and islands were moved from their places. That's going to be impact. Like Isaiah said, man, that the earth was what? It said it rolled to and fro like a drunkard, man. You know, that's what the impact. That's how many missiles hit that he saw hit the earth, man. So this is Isaiah chapter 13, it's going to verse 9. In fact, I get this in the KJV first. Isaiah 13 and 9, which reads, and the headline says, Judgment Day, judgment on the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shem outside. All right, but I'm jumping down to verse 9. All right, so this is Isaiah 13 and 9. It says, Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And, you know, and we're hoping, I said that blood moon, man, represents, it's a sign of him, his return, Yahweh's return, man, and a whole bunch of chaos and calamity to come with it. You know, Jacob's trouble, the MOT to the B being mandatory. You know, we're hoping for this. And everything is basically set up, man. Everything is basically set up. All they have to do is just implement it and make it mandatory. But that moon was a man, that was a great sign, man. You know, that's actually hope, you know, for the elect. When you see stuff like that you're supposed to rejoice, man. Like you never rejoiced a day in your life, you know. And also pray more and ask for mercy, man. You know, ask for mercy because you definitely gonna need it in these times to come, man. You know, it's Isaiah 13 and 10. It says, For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. Because I'm telling you, that's how many missiles going to be shot off with. I showed you what they look like with John the Revelator saw. You know, and they look just like stars. But he never saw a missile in his time, so that's the only way he could explain it, to see like, oh shit, it looks like the stars falling out the sky. You know, when the missiles shoot at night and all that, they look. I'll tell you, they look like stars. What you saw. This is Isaiah 13, 9, and the NLT. Matter of fact, hold up, I'm gonna do this. Let's try this right here real quick. Salaki. Give me 1 second. So, all right, we're going to start at verse 6. Come. We're going to start at verse 6. But we're going to the NLT with it. Isaiah 13 and 6, it says, Scream in terror, for the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua has arrived. The time for the Almighty to destroy. That's the sign what that moon represents. Blood. That's bloodshed. Because a lot of blood going to be shed when Yahweh Shah comes. We said that it's going to be so much bloodshed. It's going to be like it comes to the bridle of a horse, man. Horses are tall animals, man. You know, well over 6 feet. Some of them stand like tall. You know, so that's a lot of blood. I'm 5'11", so that's blood. I would be swimming in that, man. If that much blood was shed, that's how much blood the Lord is going to shed in this place, man. It says Isaiah 13 and 6. NLT says, Scream in terror, for the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua has arrived. It says, that's right, Yahweh Shaphat, that's right, brother. It says, Scream in terror, for the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua has arrived, the time for the Almighty to destroy. Every arm is paralyzed with fear. Every heart melts. God damn. And people are terrified. Pangs of anguish grip them like those of a woman in labor. They look helplessly at one another, their faces aflame with fear. That's when them nukes hit. You know how you know? They show you a depiction of that in Terminator, I believe it's Terminator 2 Judgment Day. You know? That's right, come, bro. All hands gonna be feeble. That's right. You know? But they are the ones that, you know, he said he's gonna make them as David in that day too, as well, you know. Well, the ones that, you know, the elect and all that. Hey, Shalom, Yahbashim Shabashim Kakodas to Bahashim Kakodas Rakatah. Salvation is near 7. Shalom, Shalom. It's Isaiah 13 and 9 and the NLT. Matter of fact, and yo, they got a what's that? The poster. It's the camp poster that we always use with Sarah Connor on there. She's holding the gate, and she's you see her face turn to flames. But when like that's when that happens, it's like she was in the taken in the spirit, I guess you could say, and she was looking at herself at the park with I think it was like a little kid. I'm not sure if that was a son or not, but there was a little kid there, and she saw the nukes coming. She was like, "Run!" She's trying to tell herself to run, but how you gonna do that? You was being shown something, and she was on the gate shaking. And when she started burning in that park with the kid, she actually started burning on the That's like a vision, man. You know, that's like a vision that the Lord showed her. And she, like the prophet Joel said, man, that the Lord gonna pour out the Spirit on all flesh. They're gonna have dreams. You got people having dreams about this up and coming war, these up and coming calamities, man. You know, so the Lord is not a liar. He's not going to be made a liar. All right, so this is Isaiah 13 and 9. And the NLT, it says, "For see, the day of Yahweh Shemashah is coming, the terrible day of his fury and fierce anger. The land will be made desolate, and all the sinners destroyed with it. The heavens will be black above, Shalaka, the heavens will be black above them. The stars will give no light. The sun will be dark when it rises, God damn, and the moon will provide no light. I, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, will punish the world for its evil and the wicked for their sin. I will crush the arrogance of the proud and the humble, the pride of the Shalaka. It says, I will crush the arrogance of the proud and humble the pride of the mighty. You know, so the Lord, amen. It's not looking good for you, Esau. He says, I had a dream. I had a dream similar to that on the 1st of December 2019. And the first COVID diagnosis was, damn, that's crazy, Con. Hey, that's your power, man. I remember I had a dream as well. Going back, it was a while ago, man. And I was laying in a bed. I woke up in a fetal position, man, because that dream was so real. We was it was like a bunker, but I know it was a mountain. I seen the lady talking on the phone. It was like she was a military exec or whatever she was. I know she was in part of the military. You had the military in there. There was all these cots and everything, and they was on one of the military phones speaking. And it was crazy because I remember her on the phone. She hung the phone up and put her head down, and she said it is done. And I looked like, what the F? It's done, you know? And next thing you know, I could see, it was like a little window in there outside the corner, like in the mountain. So I ran to the window, and you could see the nukes coming in the air. Then I felt them hit the ground. Boom, boom, boom. And next thing you know, you see the flames coming towards the mountain. So I ran. And like everybody was flipped their cots this way to try to hide behind their cots, and they was hiding. And but you still had some people, they was trying to get it in to have sex with each other before they died or whatever the hell, you know. But like, yo, when that heat hit the mountain, you could feel the heat. It was crazy. Like, I felt the heat in a dream, man. And like it was like after the nukes finished hitting, the mountain was kind of split. You seen a military dude come out on the other side of the mountain, because this mountain was like inside. You know how like you go to Denver airport and everything, and you watch videos of that, and they show you like they got the bunkers over there, underground bunkers or whatever. But the guy came out and he said, "Is all the military personnel okay?" And they was like, "Yeah, we okay, we're cool." Some was hurt or whatever. But it was wild, man. So like after that, it was like and the Spirit of the Lord took me outside of the mountain, and I could see like the destruction and everything that was destroyed around us, you know. And then it's like after that, I was just looking at the mountain, like floating, just looking at the mountain. Then after that, I woke up. But when I woke up, I was like this, like man, that shit scared the hell out of me, man. Never had a dream that intense like that, you know. And I'll be having dreams a lot, man, you know. But this is the brother got up there. Salvation is near 7. Zechariah 14 and 12, it says, "And this shall be the plague," that's right, "and this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem," that's right. "Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet," that's right, brother, that's right. "Their flesh shall be consumed away while they stand on their feet," man. You know, the Lord is not playing. Like we said, we hope that that's the last warning before chaos happens. So Lord's willing, you know, this was edifying. You got something out of it. Matter of fact, I said I was gonna play this video real fast again. Salaki, almost forgot. On this blood moon situation. I think this is a better one, the second one. So I'll play this one.
There's that live look right now with the Earth shadow on the moon. Is called, you can see it looking red. We call it like a blood moon because it gives it that reddish hue. Lunar eclipses always happen whenever you have the Earth right in between the sun and the moon's alignment. That's where you get that shadow on the moon. So really, really cool sight. If you got the chance to see it this morning, or if you have the chance to take a really good picture, I highly recommend it. My biggest advice, if you have like iPhone 16, 17 Pro, zoom in, try to focus, and then use the night mode. Hold it still for about 3 seconds. You're going to get a pretty good shot. Be sure to send it our way. We love seeing these. Fun fact, you're actually not going to be able to get another view of this until New Year's Eve 2028. There's that live look right now.
That's why we hoping. And that's a very rare blood moon, you know. So hey, like I said, Lord's willing, that's it. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. To the next lesson, Mawafa Baba Ball, Kwame Yasharan. Shalom.